Hey everybody, Michael Snyder, California Weather Watch. Today is April 11th, and right now we are looking at the mid-level water vapor loop. You can see the state of California. You can see our next storm system out here across the Gulf of Alaska. This is going to move right down off the coastline here, park itself off our coast, and spread some precipitation, some mountain snow, some winds, and some wave action here. We'll look at those details here as we go through the video this morning. It's definitely going to cool down much of the southwest as well, getting some pretty lofty temperatures out there last couple of days. Now, taking a look at the marine layer there across some of Southern California, Von Karman. Looks like a little bit of a Von Karman of vortex action here. You can see some of the eddies, and you can see that marine layer right up against the coastline, but it doesn't make it too far inland here, and you can see some snow across the higher terrain of southern California. Taking a look at Central California, you can see the Bay Area here. You can see a little bit of stratus moving down the coastline. I wanted to point out here, you can see Lake Tulare out there. Lake Tulare is right there. So I don't know how much water is actually in the lake, but with this snow above average here across the Sierra Nevada, as we get the melt, we might start to keep Lake Tulare going here a little bit, or at least add to it. And a nice snow cap there across a lot of the Sierra Nevada. If we look at Northern California, you can see the eddy action here with the marine layer as well. And you can see some of the higher terrain still showing off its cloud cover. And you can see Lake Tahoe right there as well. Now, taking a look here, there is the Lake Tulare lake bed here, in case any of you were wondering there. So yeah, maybe it'll make a reappearance if it's totally dry. I don't know actually right now, so somebody might be able to fill me in on the comments below. And if we take a look at what's coming here, the rain chances through Sunday, you can see we're going to get some precipitation in here, and thunderstorm potential will be accompany this storm as well. And we're going to get some mountain snows across the Sierra Nevada. More on that here in a moment. But taking a look at the snow, it was initially fairly high, 7,000, 8,500 feet, but it's going to drop back down a bit here Saturday and down to Sunday morning. So you could run into some slick driving conditions across the higher terrain. And again, this is for tomorrow, Friday, April 12th through Sunday, April 14th. And this is for Southern California. This was put out yesterday here, but they are talking about the snow amounts that are going to be incoming with this system coming up. You can see the snowfall's lowering to 4,500 feet as we go through Saturday and Sunday. So heads up for that. And some gusty winds will accompany the storm as well as the chance of some thunderstorm action. And there's also pretty warm days going off across portions like the desert areas in Phoenix. I mean, hottest days of the year so far, highs up to 96 degrees. That is going to be changing here, though, as we go through the weekend and the storm system moves across the area. I know the valley's been getting pretty warm also, and Southern California. And if you want a nice, affordable home weather station to measure that temperature at your house, this is a good one to buy. It's got an ultrasonic anemometer, all solar powered, haptic rain gauge, nice smartphone app accompany this as well. And it stores that data for you in the cloud. Now, taking a look at the European on the left versus the GFS on the right, you can see the storm system across the Gulf of Alaska that we saw on the mid-level water vapor loop. There's the state of California, Hawaiian Islands to the bottom left. If we put this into motion, this is 18,000 feet, 500 millibars up in the upper levels of the atmosphere. And you can see really good model agreement that this storm is on its way. It's been like that for a few days now, and it might spend a bit of time here all the way through the weekend, potentially not kicking out until we go through the day Monday at some point here. And then we're going to bring another system across Pacific Northwest. How far south and east will this get? We don't know quite just yet, but this looks like more of an inside slider. You can imagine it's not going to be as damp as the last storm, because that one, the other one's going to have, or the incoming storm that we're talking about in the next couple of days, it's going to have a little bit of a better moisture tap with it. And then if we scroll out into the extended forecast, you can see how the GFS keeps this trough going here across some of the mountainous west, and the European brings another trough across some of the west coast here. So we'll worry about that as we get closer. We're looking almost, 8, 9, 10 days out at that point. And if we look at some of the timing of the precipitation as we go through Friday, you can see some of it starting across some of the higher terrain, maybe near the Mount Shasta area there, a little bit earlier than other places. But as we go through the day Friday, you can see some of this kicking off across the Sierra Nevada, the Cascades, Klamath Range, and then down the coastal areas. And it'll be spinning off the Bay Area by the time we go on in through the morning hours of Saturday, afternoon hours. Hopefully we can bring out some nice rainfall for some of the valley areas for the farmers planting out there. Some of the coastal ranges here as well. We're down through Santa Barbara and Ventura County, and the low's going to be spinning right off the coastline here, so we're no doubt going to have some lightning activity with this system. And look at this wraparound moisture here, just kind of hangs out here as we go on in through Saturday. Now we're heading on into Sunday morning, just continuing across Northern California. So a nice precipitation maker going to be in effect here with this system. And then you can see the frontal system finally start to bring some rain as we go through the afternoon and evening of Sunday. Doesn't look like a big flooding event for Southern California. You could get an inch or two across some of the higher terrain and some snow as well. But you see it's not bringing much rain to the desert areas, not initially anyway, but we'll be watching that over the next couple days. And I'll take a look at the high resolution model here in a moment as well. And actually, this is it right now. This is the NAM 3KM. If we put this into motion, we'll scroll through here, and you can see some of that precip kicking off as we go through late Friday morning, and as we go through Friday afternoon, Friday night, into Saturday. You can see that storm spinning right up the coastline. Maybe even some snow for the coastal range here down towards central California. And again, hoping to squeeze out a bit of rain for some of the farmers that are out across some of the valley areas. And this goes out 60 hours. You can see some of the precipitation starting across Southern California. We'll be watching that closely here because there'd be thunderstorm potential with that also. Now, if we look at lightning flash density potential on the European, this is for tomorrow, Friday. You can see it might kick off a couple thunderstorms here. Saturday, maybe again, you can see Central Valley highlighted there as well. Here we go, Sunday, maybe one more day there, and by the time we get to Monday, it starts to move off across portions of Utah, maybe northern Arizona with a couple lightning strikes before that system kicks out of here. Now, taking a look at the significant wave height, there's Washington and California, and if I put this into motion, you can clearly see the increased wave activity that will be accompanying this storm, and you can see it pick up as we go through, really on the day Saturday, and then moving down towards Southern California as we go through the day Sunday here, and then that system would be getting out of here, and this is mainly wind-generated waves here. Maybe that inside slider starts coming down there and helps kick off some of those gusty north and northwest winds. Now looking at the daily 2-meter max temperature for today, so this is ongoing right now. Pretty darn warm here across some of the valley areas. Bakersfield, upper 80s it looks like, and some 80s all the way up towards Redding here. And you can see Death Valley maybe 99. You can see some of the areas across the desert getting pretty warm. Some mid and even upper 80s across some portions of Southern California. And as we go to tomorrow, you see the cool down just start to hit here. Still some warm temperatures here further south, but then when we go into Saturday, you'll see we start to really cool things down. I mean, look at this. You were looking at 80s, or you're going to be looking at 80s today, but by the time you get towards Saturday, look at this, some mid-50s out there for high temperatures and even cooling down some of the desert areas as well. And then Sunday, a pretty chilly day, relatively speaking, here across much of the Southwest. Start to bounce back a hair as we go through next week, but we'll worry about that as we get closer to that time frame. Here's the 6 to 10 day below average temperature, and you can see that sliver, including California, there all the way through April 20th, and here's the 6 to 10 day precipitation. So we may dry out after this system, but the European does show another trough coming in here, so we'll worry about that. You know, kind of take this with a grain of salt as always. 8 to 14 day West Coast above average, and then that below average signal goes all the way out through April 24th. And again, we'll see how that trends. And we're doing quite well, as I mentioned here, snow water equivalent for the Sierra Nevada, 136% of historical mean for this time of year, and we're going to get another round here. So that's going to be really nice for some of the mountainous areas. And we're doing pretty well across a lot of the, lower Colorado for Lake Mead, 143% of normal. A lot of areas across really anywhere Oregon south are doing pretty well. The Pacific Northwest not doing too hot, but you can see the Sierra Nevada doing quite well also. So this bodes well for the water supply issues on into the summer months. And if I just started showing this here for the last week or two, this is the lower Colorado basin, and you can see that Southern California gets a lot of its water from that area. So it's very important, the snow water equivalent across the mountainous areas there, because that helps out with the water supply for some huge metropolitan areas there in San Diego and Los Angeles. But anyway, yeah, hope you guys are looking forward to this storm here. I mean, why not bring another one? And then the European even shows another trough well off into the extended. But again, we'll try to break that down day by day. The GFS did not agree with that solution. So we'll be taking a look at that as always as we go through the videos upcoming here. But anyway, it's nice to be back home here. I had fun out there on the trip and saw the eclipse and saw some interesting lightning out there, and nothing too crazy, though. I'll be doing my main storm chasing here as we get further on into May and June. But anyway, hope you guys are having a good day. Click like and subscribe. I'll talk to you tomorrow.